In this fifth video, I will actually show you the numbers, how I calculated the growth rate. And I will also show you that the scary mechanics of the virus, that you have a curve with people being sick, and then 2 weeks later a curve with people having need of an intensive care unit bed, and sometime later people die. How this unfortunately works out. So I took all the numbers from Wikipedia. I mean, most countries, like in Germany, we have Robert Koch Institute. In US, you have the CDC. So countries have their institution. They get the numbers. Then Wikipedia kind of collects it. It's no secret here. It's online. Okay. So the number of the tested people, as shown before, how many people are tested positive, is a very not a very reliable number, because it depends on how the testing is, how well it is in your country. So when you, for example, ramp up your testing, you will find more cases, but there won't be more cases, you just find more, So the curve will go up. If you stop testing or don't test well, of course, the curve will be flattened, but it's just because you don't find the people anymore. Okay, so for the calculations, I will show later why I thought that Germany is in the testing rather okay. So here I took the growth numbers for 7 days. I actually did this yesterday, so it's all 1 day old. Anyway, it's 7 numbers. I just took the average. It's like 27.5% growth each day. So for Italy, the number of testing seems to be wrong, very wrong. I will show later how much wrong. But the dead people, unfortunately, are ramping up. It's a lot of people dying right now. So I took how many people are dying in the last 7 days, and I calculated here the growth rate, and it's 25.8% each day. Also, online there's like how many people need intensive care units. In the last days, it seems to be distorted because the beds are not longer available. But in the middle period, I took this number, like 7 days, how the intensive care unit, the need for intensive care unit beds was developing, and it developed in an average growth of 27.4%. Cases in France, where the testing might be okay, 25%. Deaths in Spain, unfortunately, high, 39%. This might be because the numbers are still small in Spain, and this kind of mathematics only works statistically for a larger number of cases, right? So it might be a distortion because the number is small, or it might that they had a very, very rapid spread in the beginning. So intensive care, people who need intensive care beds in Spain, everyday growth with 31%. Average of all this is 29.3%. But I think in Spain it's a little bit statistically distortion. Also, of course, as I said before, the rate should differ because people live differently close together, they interact differently in different societies, so you would expect the growth rate to be different. But it's all in the same ballpark, right? It's, between 25 and 30%. So this seems to be a little bit high, so an educated guess would be 27%. So what we learn from this is that all this is right? That we have people who are infected, and the same curve of the people who need intensive care, like 2 weeks later or some period, estimated 2 weeks, and the same curve for the dead people 3 weeks later. So that means if you check your curve, 3 weeks later, the curve of your dead people will check. I will explain this in a later video. For now, you have to understand this, that the virus has this kind of almost clockwork-like mechanics of exponential growth. The people, invisibly infected, you don't know. Then the people who get sick, the people who need a special care unit bed, and the people who die. They all have the same curve of exponential growth, which is doubling every 3 days, or in 1 month, 1,000-fold. So, because of these time latencies, if you stop the spread now, of course, I will explain this in the next video. Of course, the death toll will go up. for 3 weeks more.